going on, everybody? Ryjack back here for another video. I'm here to go over all the transfer business, all the news that's out there. We are just under a week or so left of the transfer window, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of rumors and maybe fake news, and I don't really know exactly how to, handle it. So I wanted to put everything in a video just to go over as we head into the final week of transfer window. I know it's been hectic for a lot of people and they don't like it. I personally like it because it's fun and engaging for me at least, but I'm sure a lot of people will be very excited to see it come to an end. So before we start, thank you guys for your support on all my videos. We are over 400 subs here on YouTube. I'm looking to get to 500 soon, so help me with that. If you're interested in the Discord that we have, it's a City fan Discord where we discuss transfers, everything going on, games, everything like that. You can check that in the channel description. Same for my socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff is there. So I very much appreciated. Check it out if you're interested. Now, let's take a look at the rumors, guys. I'm gonna pull up the first page of my bookmarks tab here. We've got Manuel Akanji news to start with. The latest news on Akanji is there's multiple clubs interested, but however, he's going to respond to Galatasaray's offer within the next 48 hours. And this came out this morning, so it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day, where we hear if he's going to go to Galatasaray. He's also got an offer from Crystal Palace. Apparently, they made a bid of £15 million. Maybe City want a little bit more than that for Akanji, but he has options for sure as far as where to go. I think I saw one that was by Leverkusen as well. They are looking to replace Hincapie, who might go to Arsenal. If he goes to Palace, he's obviously the Mark Gahey replacement, another player linked to City. But again, I think that's total fake news. I don't see that one happening whatsoever. There are some Ake rumors as well, but those have quieted much more than the Akanji one. Akanji left out of the squad at the weekend, so I don't think him leaving would be that much of a surprise. I think this one probably happens. I don't know where he goes, but I think maybe writing is on the wall. He can tell he's not really got a place in the team at the moment, and it is a World Cup year. He's going to want to play. Is he going to get that at City? I'm not too sure. So I think Akanji leaves maybe later in this week, following, especially if he doesn't make the squad again at the weekend. But I do think Akanji leaves. Now, let's talk about Donnarumma. There's a lot of stuff on Donnarumma. Report here from 6 hours ago. This is PSG report, and it's essentially a similar aggregator for like City Extra or any of those sort of things, but for PSG. This says that this guy, Tenzilovic, who, I don't know, L'Equipe, journalist at L'Equipe. There was a big report out earlier that City and PSG are not progressing in negotiations. They've made one offer worth 15 million euros, far below PSG's expectations, who want 25 to 30. City are prepared to wait to January, which this is new news. We haven't really seen that before. And maybe even wait until next summer to get him on a free. Not something City have done, at least in my lifetime that I can remember, getting a player on a free, especially under Pep. It just doesn't really happen. But I don't think this is necessarily accurate. Maybe this is a tactic put out there. I don't know, because I don't see Donnarumma sitting on the bench not doing anything for the next 6 months or whole season. I don't see it as accurate. Surely PSG just take a smaller amount than what they want. There was some murmurs of they're anticipating another club coming in who will pay their 30 million euro fee, but I don't know who it is. Who else out there needs a goalie and is willing to pay big cash for him and big wages for him? I don't see it as true. Then, an hour ago or so, negotiations between PSG and Donnarumma are moving forward. Again, very strange. It's a different source. Alfredo Padula. Now, 400,000 on Twitter. So, not one I'm familiar with. I'm not really familiar with the, local, sources for, teams in Spain or teams in France or teams in Turkey, but like we are with the England reporters. But this says that moving forward, There's a 5-year deal on the table with 16 million euros per season, which is a lot of cash for a goalie, especially. Definitely more than Ederson is making at the moment. And I do think this one's probably more likely. We saw that City and Donnarumma have reached some sort of personal terms agreement. Fabrizio has been pretty solid on the Donnarumma to City. Obviously, he always says only if Ederson leaves, and I think Ederson leaving is key. Of course, we all know that he has to go to Galatasaray, and it's a weird situation because City are willing to wait for PSG to accept a lower offer, but I'm assuming Galatasaray are also doing the same thing to them, where they're willing to wait until City accept a lower offer because they want to get Donnarumma in. So it's kind of a love triangle per se of wanting certain goalkeepers. So I think Donnarumma and Ederson, one in, one out, that happens, but it's later in the window, maybe day before, day of transfer deadline day type deal because the clubs are willing to wait. It's not like if we signed Donnarumma today or tomorrow, he would be playing Brighton, and there's no other game before the window ends, so there's no real rush to get him in anyway. But I think near the end of the window, that one goes through. Donnarumma comes in, Ederson goes out. Probably cut rate deals on both ends. That's my honest guess for what's going on. Now, the other really big transfer news, of course, is Rodrigo and Savinho. This article, Diario AS, very big newspaper apparently over in Spain. They take out a full-page ad. Rodrigo se queda, which I guess means stays. Rodrigo stays. It's a big newspaper. Would they put out a full-page ad if it was fake? Maybe. I mean, newspapers just putting out stuff to get people to buy the newspaper. That's obvious. I guess that could happen for sure. There's also, I heard that this specific newspaper doesn't like Real Madrid specifically, so maybe there's some beef there and they're pressing Madrid a bit. Who knows if that is accurate or not, but Diario AS says Rodrigo stays, and if Rodrigo stays and is unobtainable for City, I don't see City selling Savinho. They have to have a replacement for him, and there's been basically no other mentions of names for any other player other than Rodrigo from Madrid. It is getting down to the wire. We have a week left. I do think most likely what would happen is if somehow we agree the fee with Spurs, and we've accepted, I guess, that Savinho is out the door, we will only accept that deal if we also have secured the Rodrigo deal, as they happen simultaneously. City are not going to find themselves in a situation where we have sold Savinho, now let's work on the Rodrigo deal. The Rodrigo deal is hundreds of millions of cash, of dollars, of euros, pounds, whatever you want to currency you want to use. It's hundreds of millions. It's going to be extremely expensive. Rodrigo's on big wages. There's agent fees. There's the fee to pay Madrid. It's going to take some time. So again, could be a last minute thing in the window where we get both deals done simultaneously and it happens. But for the time being, Diario AS says Rodrigo stays. This is contrary, though, to this report from Graham Bailey, who was the initial guy who broke the Savinho to Spurs bid news, 10, 15 days ago over on the Mancunian Way channel. Martin, shout out to Martin, by the way. Check out the channel. I am on there Wednesday nights on Stateside Blues, so check that out if you're interested. He says, quote, "I am told Rodrigo has been edging towards England, and this decision from Ancelotti has been seriously noted by Arsenal City, with the intermediaries working on the deal." Obviously, he's talking about Rodrigo not making the Brazil squad. Apparently, it's very important to him, as it is for all national team members. This is a World Cup year, and Real have already told his camp they won't stand in his way if the right offer comes in. The right offer is interesting because it's going to be very expensive. We have seen reports that Rodrigo's agents are in Manchester, that his family or whoever is looking at houses in Manchester. I don't know what to make of this. Really, to be honest, Graham Bailey seems like he has somewhat of a pulse on it. He's not super connected with City as far as I'm aware, but he did have the Savinho news. Now, the latest on the Savinho news from Fabrizio is City. It depends on if City can get a replacement for him, which to me is a bit of a change in what Fabrizio has been saying. He'd been saying a City higher ups and executive had been blocking the deal essentially due to his not really working relationship with Daniel Levy. However, he's now saying that it all depends on if City can get the replacement in time. That replacement obviously is Rodrigo. So potentially Spurs have indicated they're willing to bid to, X number that meets City's valuation, and if City can agree a fee with Madrid, maybe the deal happens. That seems like a lot of moving parts to me, and I don't personally at the moment think it's going to happen, which is unfortunate because Savinho leaving for 70 or 80 million euros, pounds, whatever the deal is a massive transfer boost, I would say, in terms of we only paid 20, 25 million and we get 70 to 80. That's great business from City. And if you buy Rodrigo, he's a clear upgrade on Savinho in my opinion. We clearly need some additional help on the wings. And if the deal ends up breaking down and we keep Savinho, I do think he'll still have a good season. I hope the fans would not turn against him in a way where they feel like Savinho is the reason we missed out on Rodrigo. I don't want that to happen. I want positivity around the team for the remainder of the season. We have to support whoever puts on the shirt. So I don't personally think this deal happens, unfortunately, and I think Savinho stays. But there is still a lot of time left in the window. There is a week, and I will be doing consistent updates on the transfer every time we get more news. It's just a bit dead at the moment here. These are the latest updates to date. And like I said, there's only one more game before the end of the window, and no player we get now on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be available for the game anyway. So I think these deals are going to be pushed to really late in the window. And that's just kind of how it is going to be, in my opinion. So anyway, I do appreciate you guys checking out the video, watching, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Who is coming in? Who is going out? Are the deals going to make it done? Are we going to get them done in time for the end of the window or not? Is the squad set? Let me know what you think, of course. Like, sub if you're new. I do appreciate it, and I will be back as soon as there's more news. I'll see you then.